cannot defeat me.
I sort of tend to agree, actually. Some sort of a tricksy thing we have to do here.
Strong with you.
Okay, what I think is happening is that if those statues reach the center, it's basically fight over. Yeah, the problem here is that we don't have a heal. We're supposed to do enough damage to the bastard. Let's... Come on, there's not much we can do. life. There's, I think, a full life there. That way. Thank you not to stand against the wall. That's great. Not much. Not much I can do. Did I fuck up somehow? I don't have enough power. Shit. Okay. I guess the key doesn't necessarily have to be. We'll have to do too much. We basically have to force him into a retreat. Then while he's retreating, try to beat the shit out of him. Again and again and again until he goes down. Need to... Yes. Lock the AI and victory!
Our spies bring word of a small rebel uprising on Danuta.
I have no time for petty uprisings. Extinguish them painfully.
Yes, Emperor.
I want you to remember, son, when you're at the academy, how very proud I am of you.
Yeah. Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. It's a fine game, but it's also dated in a lot of ways. What it is, I feel it's a base for to develop things further. There's nothing specifically wrong with it, except but there's a lot of nothing wrong with the basic package, but what I sort of feel that has, well, there's a couple of problems, and that's where the dating comes from. The levels are absolute nightmare mazes. There's they're very game. They don't feel like actual places. They're you have to crawl through, especially the last few stages, absolute goddamn nightmares. But that's sort of fairly typical of the time. I think something like I mean, not fucking Fallout, Half-Life was, I think, one of the few. I mean, really one of the first games in the first-person genre who were, at least most of the places they put you in were actual goddamn buildings, or felt like actual buildings. Mostly before that, they were exactly like this. Some kind of a massive maze that no one would ever live in. They're designed to be game levels, not places people actually spend their time on. So it's more of a, it dates the game rather than is a reason enough to hate it. But it does bother me somewhat. As at the same time, to be fair, it was a couple of levels at the end there, and really, this not even the last one, the one before that. Just you have to go to some kind of ledges, jump to certain specific spots there. It's just, it just, it feels like reaching some kind of a hidden secret there instead of progressing through the main plot line of a game. And I don't like that. It's, yeah, got stuck there, so certainly don't like that, but it doesn't feel particularly good design. But besides that, I wouldn't say this is a great game now, but it's okay. If you sort of want this type of, I want to play a Jedi Knight, they are better. Kyle Katarn continues his adventures in other games. I'm not quite sure which ones. Was it? Are there? I'm not. I mean, I'm not sure what the game series is called. Is it Jedi Knight or Jedi Academy? Something along those lines, anyway. And I think for the most part they do improve on what the experience is supposed to be. There is an expansion pack to this game. I'm thinking of playing through it. It's not quite the same, but it's the basics are there. And I'm not sure, I don't think we're going to play with Kyle Katarn in that. Mara Jade or something like that, maybe? By the way, I'm sort of curious to see what type of a expansion they would do to this game. Usually it's something more the same, except harder. And here it would have to be... I can't see the fighting being all that much harder. Maybe more against creatures like the ones we made at the ruins in the last mission, or more puzzles. And I'm not, frankly, I'm not looking forward to other than, but might be an interesting thing to see through. Also might be interesting thing to see through the later versions of the game series. But still, this is an okay playthrough, but not excellent and a lot of trouble to get it working, so you would be much better off playing a more modern version of the same concept than this.